I just made a cup of bone broth. I've been drinking bone broth every day in the morning, first thing when I wake up, for about 3 weeks. Bone broth has a lot of collagen in it, and I feel like I'm definitely noticing my skin is so glowy ever since I've been waking up and drinking this on an empty stomach. And the reason you want to drink it on an empty stomach is because there's so many nutrients in here. And if this is the first thing in your body absorbs every single nutrient that's in here. I have had a bunch of water already this morning. When you first wake up, you're super dehydrated, and so it's really important to drink as much water as you can right when you wake up. I used to wake up, roll out of bed, go to the coffee maker, make a coffee, and I didn't realize how much that was hurting my stomach until I stopped doing that. And I used to think that I needed coffee first thing in the morning to be able to wake up and have a good morning and be productive for the rest of the day. But now I don't make my coffee until like after an hour that I've been awake. And it's been really nice to kind of reclaim my natural energy and feel like I don't need coffee to wake up, and I'm kind of drinking coffee for the taste. So I highly recommend switching your morning up a little bit and having a different beverage first thing in the morning that's not coffee, because it's going to wake you up in a more gentle way, and then you can go and have your caffeine once you're a little bit more awake. I also forgot to film this morning, but I did take this vitamin C. I've been having like a spring cold, or maybe it's just like allergies, and so I've been taking this every day. This is just a lot of vitamin C. I do not take any other supplements right now because I did a function health test and I'm just waiting for all of my results to come back. I still have to do my second blood draw next week, and so I have a few weeks until I get the results. So I don't take any other vitamins or supplements other than just this vitamin C, because you can never go wrong with more vitamin C. In the mornings, I really like to try to give myself some undistracted time to just be and wake up and be with my own thoughts before I let the chaos of my email or social media or the world in. And every morning this looks different. Some days I can only do this for a few minutes, and some days I allow myself a full hour. I'm making a vanilla latte. This is homemade vanilla. You just need a tiny splash. I added some raw milk. I frothed this until it was 150 degrees. I don't make a vanilla latte every morning, but today I was feeling like having something a little bit more cozy and warm. And then I've been playing around with adding lion's mane into my coffee, which I haven't noticed anything yet from it, but I think it's more of a long-term play. The brand of this lion's mane is KOS. When I'm having my coffee is when I first allow myself to get productive. I usually put on an audiobook and then I'll make my to-do list for the day or refine it. I'm trying this new thing where I write only the 3 to 5 most important things on my to-do list for the day, and I just make sure to check those off instead of getting caught up in all the tiny little to-dos and being counterproductive by writing and checking all of that stuff off. I love avocado toast. I love scrambled egg toast. I love any kind of toast. This morning, I wanted to make a take on avocado toast. I went to a local bakery yesterday and they had this black loaf, and it's a charcoal loaf, and I was immediately drawn to it. I thought it was so beautiful and I just couldn't wait to taste it. This is sourdough, so I was really excited to make this for breakfast. Usually I toast my bread, but today I just wanted to try this without being toasted. So I cut up half an avocado and I split that between 2 pieces of toast, and I just mashed that onto the bread. You can also do this in a bowl, but I just was feeling a little bit lazy for that. So I mashed this onto my bread, and then I pulled out my cottage cheese, and I did a layer of cottage cheese that was a little bit thicker than the avocado. Cottage cheese is high in calcium. It's also high in protein, so it's an amazing thing to eat as a snack or for breakfast. I've seen people do cottage cheese in a sweet recipe. I haven't tried it. It doesn't sound that good to me, but I'm definitely down to try it. I put some microgreens on top of this toast. Microgreens are something I literally put on everything. I just feel like they're the easiest way to get a little bit more nutrients. And then I drizzled on some chili oil, and then to finish it off, I did a little bit of everything but the bagel seasoning and then some salt flakes. I love making the food that I'm eating pretty. I feel like it just makes me love it even more, and it just feels even more nourishing to my body. I think it's a placebo effect, but that's how I feel about it. I just thought this toast was gorgeous and it tasted as good as it looked. I used to always skip breakfast and say that I wasn't a breakfast person, but breakfast really is the most important meal of the day, and I alternate between sweet breakfasts and savory breakfasts. Sometimes I'm having my yogurt with my seeds and berries and honey, and then other times I'm having toast. Today I made a cottage cheese avocado toast. I bought this bread from a local bakery. It's black because it's made with charcoal. So I basically just spread avocado, cottage cheese, microgreens, and then a little bit of chili oil, some everything but the bagel seasoning, and a little bit of salt. This breakfast is so good and so easy to make. It literally took me less than 3 minutes to make this. I like to meal prep all of my lunches for the week, so I do eat the same thing Monday through Friday, but I personally don't mind at all. Today I am meal prepping a lentil and bean veggie bowl. The dish that I'm prepping is vegetarian. I do usually eat vegetarian for lunch. I like to keep my lunches light but still filling and not too heavy, but you could super easily add chicken or salmon or shrimp or turkey to add more protein to this. Meal prepping is an amazing way to always have healthy food in the refrigerator, and I find that the weeks that I do spend a little bit extra time to meal prep, I make so much more healthier choices because I already have healthy and delicious things in the refrigerator ready to go. Whether it's for lunch or for dinner, I often am prepping vegetables like this and just putting them in a container and saving them for later. It makes making healthy and delicious dinners so much easier. But here I'm just cutting up a red beet and a yellow beet and then some carrots. I warmed up my cast iron pan. I just put some olive oil on there, and then I threw the vegetables on the pan. I just added a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then just let these cook for probably like 7 minutes. For the beans, I used lentils and then Great Northern beans. I just dumped these out of a can, but you can totally soak these kind of beans and kind of do it yourself. I roasted the carrots and then I roasted the red beets as well. I find that cooking vegetables this way really brings out an amazing flavor. Especially since you're only cooking with salt and pepper, you really get to taste the fullness of the vegetable. I only plated one portion of this and the rest I put into containers, but I started with some spinach. I just did 2 handfuls of spinach, and then I put some beans on there. I did, I think, 3 scoops of beans. I went in with the red beets, I went in with the carrots, and then I went in with the yellow beets. When I'm eating the rainbow, I feel so good. There's something to just eating every single color throughout the day that makes you feel good, and it's probably because it has all the vitamins that you need. I topped this lunch with microgreens, and then I added some fermented pickles, and then I also added some pickled red onions. Recently, I've gotten so bad at peeling hard-boiled eggs. It literally looks like this egg was pre-chewed, but I'm just really bad at peeling eggs. I took the other half of the avocado and added it onto here. This lunch was insanely delicious, super easy to prep. I didn't end up putting any dressing on this because the pickles and the onions kind of spoke for themselves, but I think a miso ginger dressing would be really good on this if you wanted something saucy on there. I am such a snacky person, and if I don't have a healthy snack prepared, I will grab for things like chips. So to avoid grabbing for chips or craving chips, I did buy some dip this week. Sometimes I make my own hummus or I make my own dip, but this week I just didn't feel like it. And then I sliced some cucumbers yesterday. When I'm eating cucumbers or I'm eating carrots and I'm dipping it in dip, it makes me feel like I'm eating chips. The dip that I bought is truffle cashew cream cheese. Yum. So if you're also snacky like me and you crave chips, try this little dip hack because this has changed the game for me. I've been really into juices recently, and I do have a juicer. I just haven't been making my own juices at home, but I actually do want to start doing that. I just need to get in the habit of doing it. But I bought this smoothie yesterday that's like a cloud smoothie. So it's coconut cream, coconut water, and vanilla. It looks like I'm drinking a cup of milk. I feel like most people know this, but coconut water is a really good source of like a natural electrolyte. It has a lot of potassium and sodium and even magnesium, which helps your body to retain the fluids even after you've been working out or sweating. So if you're looking for a natural source of electrolytes, coconut water is an amazing way to go. You just want to make sure that the coconut water that you're buying doesn't have any added sugar. I love making these little mini potatoes. I feel like they're just so tasty and they crisp different than the big potatoes. So I just sliced all the little mini potatoes and then I added some tomatoes. I had some orange tomatoes, I had some red tomatoes. I just threw it all on there. And then I drizzled this entire tray with olive oil. I like to go kind of heavy on the olive oil so that the potatoes crisp really nicely. The secret to these potatoes is rosemary, and a lot of it brings out such an amazing flavor in all of these veggies. I also sprinkled a little salt and pepper onto this veggie tray, and then I put it in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. I wanted to make greens on the side of this, and so I put some coconut oil in a pan. I actually put too much and it was a little too coconutty, but I put broccoli in here. I let that cook with the lid on so that it didn't lose any moisture, and then the best time to turn it off is when it's bright green. You don't want to overcook it or you start losing nutrients. So I turned that off, I put the lid back on, I started cooking my salmon, I put thyme on it, it's so good. And then when my salmon was pretty much done, I revisited my broccoli and I put some spinach in there. You don't want to overcook your spinach, just like your broccoli. Honestly, I didn't even use any heat on my spinach. The broccoli just naturally cooked it. This is a really typical dinner for me: potatoes, veggies, and either salmon or chicken. And then I've been playing with eating dinner a lot earlier, like eating dinner at 5:30. And there's a few reasons that this is good for you. It's better for your digestion because it gives you more time before you go to sleep to like digest your food. And so that affects your sleep quality. It can make you go to sleep faster and just sleep better and not wake up. The only con with eating dinner this early is sometimes I do have late afternoon activities and I just can't cook at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I finished the day with another cup of bone broth. Sometimes I also drink magnesium before bed, but tonight I just stuck with bone broth. And that is what I eat in a day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.